every other religion in the world fails at the very beginning with regard to creation. Every pagan religion in the world fails because it does not recognize there is a God beyond matter, this invisible one who governs all things that are seen. And so if you look, for instance, at the ancient Near East, so the pagan literature of the nations around Israel, you'll find, if you read those texts, that there are stories of gods who are fighting, and their fighting forms the world. But really there is this, in these stories, there is this battle with chaos, and chaos is subdued, and that's the way in which the world comes about that we see. But if you were to ask then, well, how were the gods fighting? What were all the things that they were fighting about? Why were they already here? The answer that's implicitly given is they were always there. The point is that the matter is eternal. It's not God, a person who's an invisible reality who existed in eternity. There is a matter, there's a thing that's eternal that could be seen with the eyes. There is an inability to grasp the unseen reality of God at the very beginning, at the point of creation. And you see the same thing that is found in Athanasius in his work on the Incarnation, where he deals with the Greek philosophers. So even here you have more than 1,000 years after these ancient Near Eastern myths, and he says the same thing. These philosophers, they believe in the eternality of matter. But we as Christians, we do not believe in this very thing. This is even the reason why, as you think about why in idolatry, why in religions that are outside of Christianity, why there's always the worship of the creature. Why is there never the worship of anything else? The answer is because every other religion fails to apprehend truly the unseen realities that are beyond matter. There's nothing ultimately beyond the things you can see. The gods are emanations, basically, of the things that are seen. And if matter is eternal, then is not matter worthy of worship? That's the train of thought that always leads to the worship of the creature rather than the creator. That's the reason why there is this false step right at the beginning that leads to every other error. There is an inability, as the author says here, to understand that the world was made out of things which are invisible. Even Plato, who is credited with being the one who comes the closest to Christianity, so to speak, even he believed in the eternality of matter. He believed in the eternality of matter. Even he talks about the unseen world in this or that way. But it's in this way always tethered to matter. There's nothing transcendent. There's no unseen being, person, who is beyond the world that is seen. There is always this tethering to the things that we see, and those things are eternal. Now, the same thing is true today, even with all of the scientific progress and whatever else, all these scientific explanations, all the ones that say that the Bible's been disproven and all this. There is actually the exact same false start, such that evolution, and all those who have various theories that are related to it, are in fact making the same first move as every pagan who's ever lived in the history of the world. There is, in the Big Bang Theory, there is one atom. Where did the atom come from? Well, it's always been. Either that, or there's been, some people talk about the universe contracting and then retracting and going back and forth again. But either way, whether or not it's one atom that was in this state or it's been moving back and forth and there's all these universes or whatever, either way, there is an eternality to matter. There is an inability to apprehend that there is an unseen reality that has created all the things that we've seen. And this is therefore, brothers and sisters, the great problem. This is the great difference between Christians and every other religion in the world. The point is this. When we think about things like creation, it is necessary to understand that God has in fact created all things of nothing, that there is one being who is beyond everything that we've seen. Therefore, everything that we see does have a beginning, and God is the one who has made it. God is the one who has made it. Faith apprehends realities that are in fact unseen.